Associate Professor Razwana Begum.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I stand in support of the Societies Amendment Bill. This bill strengthens the regulatory framework, expands the power of the regulator, and provides clarity on the registration and administration of societies. The proposed changes will enable societies to function effectively while remaining vigilant to the vulnerabilities and threats that may affect the society, its members, and beneficiaries. These regulatory measures are necessary to ensure public safety and security. It is important to note that the need for regulation and oversight of registered societies goes beyond enforcing laws and norms. They act as preventive measures, deterring potential wrongdoers from engaging in harmful activities. By providing clear guidelines and enforcing consequences, regulations create a culture of accountability, discouraging individuals from taking advantage of others or exploiting loopholes for personal gain. Mr. Deputy Speaker, at this juncture, I would like to declare my involvement in societies as a board member, official bearer, and an advisor. Sir, societies are valuable partners in our social service sector. Societies complement government service delivery, foster civic engagement, and play a crucial role in addressing social and economic issues such as poverty, healthcare, housing, and education. Their programs and services can assist improve the quality of life for vulnerable populations, reduce inequality and discrimination, and promote social inclusion. We need to recognize and celebrate their contribution. It is, however, also important to remember the increasing threats connected with societies, and it is reasonable that the government provide some level of regulation and oversight of societies. This regulation and oversight must, however, be proportioned to the need. While I acknowledge the potential benefits of this expansion, I do have some clarifications and suggestions. I note that the proposed amendments will require the Registry of Societies to give reasons for rejecting a society's application to change its rules, name, and place of business. The provision of clear and informative reason will assist societies to better understand and comply with required rules and regulation. The provision of separate registration routes reflects a risk-based approach. It assures societies ease of registration and also allows societies the option of opting for automatic registration based on their mandate and objectives. Considering that some societies may be of higher risk and some may represent little or no risk at all, the proposed changes will strengthen the registrar's capacity to examine the registration of societies that may pose harm to public safety. Apart from making further inquiry or requiring new societies to include specific rules in their constitution, may I suggest that selected societies be required to include a detailed description of their governing body or management committee and the stipulated duties of its members at the point of registration, and for this information to be evaluated and audited. An example of a similar requirement can be found in the New Zealand Incorporated Societies Act 2022. That act defines 6 specific duties for officers, including to act in good faith and in the best interest of society and exercise reasonable care and diligence. On that, may I check if the Ministry would consider introducing explicit whistleblower protection programs to inform members, volunteers, and beneficiaries or the public to report suspicious activities without fear of retaliation. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it is commendable that Singapore has comprehensive guidelines and adopts best practices, including those suggested by the Financial Action Task Force. This was explained yesterday at the ministerial statement on Singapore's anti-money laundering regime. However, considering the complexity of fulfilling required financial obligations, may I suggest that those societies classified to be at higher risk of exploitation by bad actors to be given additional support and guidance. May I also suggest including the requirement for key members to undergo mandatory training on rules countering threats and vulnerabilities before setting up a society. This would also allow members to consider novel financial regulations, such as the use of smart contracts on blockchain platforms to automatically release funds, or utilizing blockchain technology to maintain an immutable ledger of financial transactions and activities. Apart from financial issues, I'm concerned about young people and vulnerable individuals joining a society and being groomed into engaging in undesirable or criminal activities. There is also the danger of members being victimized. This is a real threat considering the proliferation of fake news, the ease of connectivity online, and potentially negative influence arising from online gatherings. A society can be formed with all good intent, yet over time have their meetings infiltrated or influenced by new, sometimes anonymous members, and end up discussing or promoting dangerous or extreme topics of ideologies. Another area of concern is related to technology and the formation of online groups on various digital platforms. It is harder to monitor and establish the underlying intention of such groups. In view of the potential threats and challenges, would the ministry consider providing online or other option to allow societies to ask questions and seek guidance and support about their compliance obligations? Sir, legislation is just one aspect of control, and we need to constantly educate the public for them to be aware of risks that may come from joining a society and engaging in activities organized by a society, and from bad actors who may infiltrate a society. To promote responsible engagement and giving, it is important to share information with the public. Would the ministry consider developing public awareness campaign to educate volunteers and public about the importance of supporting ethical and compliant society? I'm pleased to note that members of the public can search the database for registered societies. However, to access further details about the society, they need to purchase that information. Has consideration been given to the development of a free access database that can provide greater information to the public? By providing a tool to search for information on societies, the public can make informed decisions, and they can play a role in monitoring and reporting suspicious activities. Sir, the changes suggested in this bill affirm Singapore's commitment to maintaining its global reputation for order and security. I believe the amendments are a positive step, and regulations can help create a more just, ethical, and inclusive society that benefits not only its members but the larger community. In conclusion, notwithstanding the clarifications and suggestions I've raised earlier, I stand in support of this amendment bill.